All right, good morning. Welcome back to Daybreak. It's now 14 minutes to 7 o'clock, and it's time that we want to take a look at some of the stories making headlines, different parts of the country. But I want us to start by looking at the dailies, the Standard and the Daily Nation. And you'll see that on the front page of the Daily Nation, you'll see the headline there, Ruto defends Uhuru over Raila attacks, and then the Standard, Raila chances at presidency. We'll be putting those on the screen, but first let's introduce our panelist who is already in studio, Honorable Caleb Kositanyi from Soi constituency. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers.
Right, and thank you for making time for us. We'll shortly be joined by Senator Isaac Mwaura, the nominated senator, as well as Tim Wanyonyi, the Member of Parliament for Westlands, and like I said earlier, one William Kabogo, former governor of Kiambu County, was not able to join us this morning. He sent his apologies, but he had confirmed his attendance. But now, looking at the front page of the Daily Nation, if we can have it and put it up, you'll see that ODM chief has painted deputy president as a face of failures, but now the deputy president is responding to Raila Odinga, and you'll see in a fresh twist, the DP, who has lately been attacking President Kenyatta, aggressively defended the head of state, outlining the Jubilee administration's achievements since taking power in 2013. The estranged deputy, who has become an outsider in his own government thanks to the March 2018 handshake between Raila Odinga and the president, praised their performance prior to the rapprochement with the opposition leader. And let me begin with you, Honorable Kositanyi. What is this turning out to be? Because for a very long time we've seen your camp, that you come from, attacking the Jubilee government, blaming Raila Odinga as having come to spoil the party and led to the failures that now witness. Now it's turning, and the opposition leader is attacking the Jubilee government, saying that you haven't done 1, 2, 3, 4 things, and now the DP is having again to defend an administration that he is the deputy.
Well, I think some reality has checked in to ODM that their stay in government was limited. Maybe they have gained what they wanted to gain. And I think the comments by Raila Odinga are actually a direct attack on the president. But because he doesn't want to be seen to be backtracking on the handshake deal and attacking his brother Uhuru Kenyatta, then the fallback guy is the deputy president. But I think Kenyans are not fools. We know that since Raila came in, he has been acting actually almost like a co-president. He has been, and the president himself, were told by President Uhuru himself that now we're in government, I am consulting Raila Odinga, we are doing things together. So ODM, led by Raila Odinga, cannot run away from the fact that...
But it was never specific on execution of government programs.
Well, but you have those comments, and I'm sure you have the clips, Sam, you can play them. Those were words that were made and comments made by the president and even Raila himself. And it cannot be, Sam, that now Jubilee has failed. When you wanted to kick out members of Jubilee from their parliamentary positions, they were a team. But now that elections are coming near, it is time to mark a report card. Jubilee is a bad political party. It has failed in ABCD when you have been part of the mess. So I think Kenyans are intelligent enough. They will see through this ODM scheme or Raila Odinga scheme, and Raila Odinga should carry the blame. If there are failures by the Jubilee administration, Raila Odinga will carry the blame with his brother, Uhuru Kenyatta.
And what blame should DP Ruto carry?
I think from 2017 up to the time of the handshake, let Ruto carry that blame. From the time of the handshake, then let Raila and Uhuru carry that blame. Because it is quite obvious. It's there in the open, Sam, that, the deputy president was not part and parcel of this whole scenario of let us change the constitution, BBI. And I like what the deputy president said the other day. Let these fellows who are pushing the BBI do their BBI. Let me left to do whatever development projects I can do, because that was our mandate to the, that is how we got the mandate of the people, because we had promised development. So it is for us to decide where did William Ruto exit and where did Raila come in.
That would be very hard to determine, bearing in mind that he is the official deputy president, the sworn-in deputy president. Let me read an excerpt of a tweet that Raila Odinga released, and he says that it's on the Daily Nation. Mr. 6 months, quote unquote. Mr. 6 months, the youngsters you promised laptops 8 years ago are now old enough to see through your lies. The youth you promised 8 million jobs in 8 years can see through the wheelbarrow lie you are now peddling. It has been 8 years, Mr. 6 months, and not 3 years. No. Mr. 6 months. And I would want to know, even as you blame Raila Odinga for, let's say, the confusion that you see within the administration, how did he take away the promise of jobs, 1 million jobs every year, of laptops?
You know, Sam, we had a plan in Jubilee. And if you look at the track record of Jubilee from 2013 to 2017, it is unmatched of all previous governments. Kenyatta government, Moi government, Kibaki government. And when we moved into 2017, we had also the plans. And you can play the clip whereby even President Uhuru Kenyatta made those promises about the laptops and all during his speech in Kasarani after being sworn in. So it's not the deputy president alone who made it. That was made by the Jubilee administration. That was one then. But after the handshake, then the agenda changed. The agenda changed that we needed to create space in government for ODM to have a piece of cake in government. Then we started this whole corruption talk, whereby we wanted to get people out of certain positions so that you can create positions for others. And we did some. Of all the corruption cases that were handled after the handshake, none of them has even succeeded. Some are being told, let us negotiate out of court. I even met yesterday one of the gentlemen who was kicked out of his parastatal job, and he was telling me, I'm being told now, let's negotiate, your case is so weak, you know, and he was just accused because they thought they wanted to create space for somebody. So I think we need to be very candid with ourselves and be truthful to Kenyans that Jubilee started failing after the handshake. And I don't say this because the deputy president was kicked out. I say this because...
But Honorable Kositanyi, had we seen the laptop... Okay, the handshake was on 9th of March 2018, right?
Yes, yeah.
So between 2013, April, when the two were sworn in, until March 2018, it's about 5 years, had we seen 1 million jobs every year? Had we seen the laptops to learners?
Well, well, we have laptops. At least in every school there are laptops. Maybe not a laptop to every learner. But if you go to every school, there are laptops. The kids are now learning using laptops. We may not have achieved the full promise that every child would have a laptop, but at least they are now digitally doing digital learning, and at least it is a step in the right direction. At least we moved and achieved something that we had promised. But we need to say this, Sam, and this.
How about the 1 million jobs?
Well, the 1 million jobs, I don't know, I don't have the statistics. I want to say that very clearly. I don't have the statistics on that. I think maybe you need to invite the minister for the CS for Treasury or the CS for, one of the CS Treasury or planning, economic planning, who will now come and tell you exactly what. Because, you know, as a legislator, I have my role to do in parliament. I don't run government. So it would be wise if you got somebody from government.
And the stadia that were promised that would be done in 6 months, remember that promise at Kasarani in was it 2017?
I think, Sam, you would want to invite maybe the president or the deputy. They will tell you how far the stadiums are gone. But what I can tell you now as a member of Jubilee is that they are on course. We may not have achieved them within the timelines that were set, but they are on course.
No, I'm asking this question because you keep blaming Raila Odinga that he came into government and disrupted your development plan, but you had a whole 5 years before Raila Odinga came on board, and you still say that...
But Sam, I've told you we've achieved a lot. We have achieved a lot. Let us go by what we have achieved, not by what we have failed to achieve. Because I really feel the Jubilee administration, 2013 to 2017, I really felt it.
Okay. Let's take a look at, we are still waiting for Senator Isaac Mwaura as well as Honorable Tim Wanyonyi, but on the front page of the Standard, you'll see that Raila chances the presidency. State House Quest, ODM has advertised for candidates to fly its presidential flag in next year's poll. If Raila chooses to run and is voted in by delegates, he will be gunning for a seat that has been elusive since 1997. We assess his chances. So, of course, the full story is on page 2. He has run for presidency 4 times. Nobody knows whether he will be running in 2022. Or do you have an idea? Do you think he will run?
Raila will definitely run.
Why are you so confident about that?
Well, Raila doesn't know how to support another person. He doesn't know how to play second fiddle. He will definitely run. All this is just curtain raising for ODM. And I think Raila is the next presidential candidate for the ODM party.
Yet now we see that the party, I wish Tim Wanyonyi was here because he comes from the party, now it has advertised different positions that people may want to apply. I mean, what strategy is this? Have you ever seen it?
I've never seen it, and I think it's a good thing that ODM have this in the, as a party, have this kind of system. But definitely, ODM is not a democratic party. Of course, they will have a system that will hoodwink people, that they are doing an open, transparent process. But deep in, it is Raila Odinga who is going to be the presidential candidate.
Why would you say it's not a democratic party? In ODM is democratic movement.
That is just the word. That is just the word, Sam. It is not. It is not democratic. You saw what happened to one Secretary General who was not from, who the members of ODM thought how he was ejected, Honorable Magarer, how he was ejected from ODM party. And you have seen that ODM as a party has a strong hold. You've seen how they have really mistreated Aisha Juma just because she had a divergent view. It is okay for Raila Odinga to go and work with Jubilee, but it is not okay for Aisha Juma to go and work with Jubilee deputy president. Really, so ODM is not democratic. It is a private members club, and that has transisted all of that kind of disease has been passed on to Jubilee. Jubilee lost being, stopped being a national party. It has become a private members club. We're always discussing, we want to expel so-and-so from the party, we want to impeach so-and-so, we want to remove so-and-so from this committee. We are now even seeing Senator Kang'ata, I hope we come to that, because he just wrote a letter being truthful, being a loyal person, being a person who's a friend of the president, like all of us are, and decided to tell the president the truth. And the reasons why Kang'ata decided to write a letter, maybe because he had seen people lying to the president that everything is okay, and he said, let me put it on pen and paper and let the world know that I have spoken the truth. So let us start accommodating divergent views and agree that we all must have certain positions, and my position does not mean I disrespect you, Sam, or disrespect the party. It means that I have taken my position, respect me, and allow me to play my space.
Right, and of course, Governor Wycliffe Oparanya of Kakamega is quoted in The Nation as saying that obviously I will be running. We cannot know if Raila is running. If he wants to, he is free to do so, but I will also be running. Then Joho says that, or the spokesperson of an advisor of Joho says that Joho has chances to win the party ticket. The advert has just come out, and the governor and his team will discuss it, but he is in the race. Then Governor Amason Kingi of Kilifi is quoted as saying, I have made up my mind that I will be a presidential candidate, but not in ODM. My priority now is to bring the coast people together. And then on Twitter, there's someone here who is saying that Bobo Wino, William Ruto is absolutely right. Raila Odinga should address President Uhuru on Jubilee's party failure. Then Jamal Nungo saying that, did I just hear Soy MP Caleb Kositanyi say the stadia are on course? Huyu anaishi Kenya gani? Of course, they are raising questions about your comment there. We were told that within 6 months, certain stadia would be ready. But anyway, that's your take on that. We take a short break. On a return, we'll be joined by Senator Isaac Mwaura and Honorable Tim Wanyonyi from Westlands constituency as we continue looking at some of the stories making headlines and have been informing political conversation for the past few days. Stay tuned.